reinstating the Bible into schools in the US, who's deporting criminals, who's basically realigning with Israel. Some Christians are against him. Can you believe it? So all it says to me, any Christian that is against Donald Trump, obviously, I would question whether they're Christians or not, because there's something seriously wrong when you don't align with someone who's aligning with the policies of Judeo-Christian policies. Now, back in Australia, there's no one aligning with Judeo-Christian policies. It's a complete disaster. It's a train wreck in Australia, but probably we expected that, because Australia lags behind the rest of the world probably about 6 to 12 months. So what Trump's doing, is affecting Australian politics already. The ones who have been sitting back and waiting for something to happen, like I see Matt Canavan's like pushing the real Trump agenda, and good on you, Matt, but it's taken a long time for you to get the fire in the belly, hasn't it? And that's the same with a lot of the other politicians, notwithstanding Jared Rennick, who is making a really great stand, and I believe that his party, the People First Army, I called it, and I renamed Senator Rennick General Rennick. He'll form a third party alternative, which I believe will control the Senate in the next election. Now, the next election is not going to be 3 years away. I say it'll be a double dissolution and a referendum on free speech coming up 6 months away. So I see that this year. So Albo will be out of control, and he won't be able to do anything because the radical Greens will try to control him in the Senate. Not just me saying that. It'll be a hung parliament, basically pivoting on the radical Greens. And you think about it. The radical Greens stand for everything that every Australian, the majority of Australians, don't like. That's what the radical Greens stand for, including their support of Palestine. Can you believe it? Supporting terrorism. That's what they do. If any of the Greens went over and lived, and I've been to the election booths and seen people who represent the Greens. They're all the ones with the painted faces and rings in the noses and all this, and just God bless them, I suppose, but they're certainly not the representation of the majority of Australians who are just trying to work for a quid and keep their families with a roof over their house and with a roof over their heads and all that sort of stuff. Send any of the Greens over to the Middle East and see how their little policies pan out over there. They wouldn't last 10 minutes. They'd be on the head chopping block, literally. So, there's a certain reality check with all these so-called extremist parties, or what I call the woke. But without doubt, woke is out. Have a look what's happening in Ireland with Conor McGregor. Talk about a patriot. And I think he'll become president of Ireland. I believe he will. I'm just watching what he's doing, and I like it, actually. He's a total patriot, and he's got no fear, because he's been that world champion UFC fighter, he's got a lot of respect from that in Ireland. And I'm half Irish. I know what the Irish are like. They're fighters, mate. They're not cowards. So the Irish blood is up in UK, and thank God for that, because they've been trying to do the same woke policies in Ireland as they're doing in the UK, and the UK system is just about at breaking point.